Okay, so so this is this all part will be included in this second chapter. It is ferrous metals and its alloys, and then the third chapter is non-ferrous materials and its alloys, and some advanced materials are added in your syllabus. There are some composites material, concept of the composite material, and concept of the nanomaterials. Now, in case of the non-ferrous alloys, we are going to deal with the copper alloys, aluminum alloys, then some lead and tin alloy, an introduction to the nickel alloy. So these are a very few non-ferrous alloys are there that we are going to discuss in this metallurgy subject in the chapter number 3 or unit number 3. Then some introduction to the advanced materials is added in your syllabus, that is the composite materials and nanomaterials. Now as far as these composite and nanomaterials are concerned, we are going to discuss what is the meaning of composite material, what is the meaning of nanomaterial, means basic concept of composite materials and nanomaterials, then its basic classification, properties, and some applications that we are going to discuss here in this third chapter. Then this is the first section. Okay, this is the first section. This first section includes 3 chapters: introduction to the ferrous alloys, then ferrous materials, ferrous metals and its alloys, non-ferrous metals and its alloys, along with the some advanced material like composite materials and nanomaterials. Okay, introductory part will be there only. Okay, we are not going to discuss this in a very brief way, just its basic concept, classification, properties and applications will be there. Then in the second section, it consists of 3 chapters: heat treatment of the steel. Okay, heat treatment means how to alter the properties of the particular steel. In this, we will discuss the first, what is the meaning of heat treatment, like one broader aspect or in generalized concept of heat treatment process, and we will try to understand. And after that, how the heat treatments are done on the steel, how the heat treatment processes are done on the steel, and in that different heat treatment processes are there, like annealing, normalizing, then hardening, tempering, tempering, then some surface hardening treatments are there, like carburizing, nitriding, cyaniding, carbonitriding, induction hardening, flame hardening. Different surface hardening treatments are there. All these are just different types of heat treatment processes. Each heat treatment process changes specific property. Okay, depending on its application, you have to select the suitable heat treatment process. And how to do that? First, you should go through this initial points. That is the objective of heat treatment process, then how the heat treatment process is conducted, then what is this TTT and CCT diagram, time temperature transformation diagram, and continuous cooling transformation diagram. Okay, these diagrams you have to study. Means to select the suitable heat treatment process, you required some tools, basic tools. Basic tool will be for as far as this heat treatment of steel is concerned. First, you should be able to understand its equilibrium diagram, iron carbide equilibrium diagram, and after that you should be able to understand the TGT diagram. Depending on these 2 diagram or these 2 tools only, you will be able to select the suitable heat treatment process for altering the properties of that particular steel. So this we will go into discuss in this 4th chapter. This 4th chapter is very important. 60%, 60 to 65% marks weightage from this second section will be given to this heat treatment of steel only. Okay, like in first section, 60 to 65% marks weightage will be given to the study of ferrous metals and its alloys. Okay, and like that, this heat treatment of steel will carry the higher marks weightage or importance. Means as far as the theory or your practical examination is concerned. Then after this, the fifth chapter is there. In this fifth chapter, the name is destructive and non-destructive testing methods. Okay, destructive testing methods and non-destructive testing methods. This this will come under the testing of the material. It requires approximately 6 lectures or 6 hours to complete this. Now in this, we will try to understand what is the destructive difference between basic difference between destructive testing methods and non-destructive testing methods. And in that destructive testing methods, in our syllabus, we have included some basic or important destructive testing methods like tensile testing, hardness testing, impact testing, grip testing, fatigue testing. All these tests are useful for determining some particular properties of that material. Then non-destructive testing methods are there. Out of that, some are included in our syllabus are dye penetrant test, magnetic particle test, ultrasonic test, then the radiography, eddy current test, and introduction to some advanced NDT methods. Okay, so this is the recently added. Some advanced non-destructive testing methods are added in the syllabus. Okay. In short, how to identify the destructive and non-destructive testing method. So basic concept will be like this. The testing method in which your sample or specimen gets damaged or you cannot use it for the further process. That testing method will be termed as the destructive testing method. Okay, means in which type of testing, suppose the specimen under your test or that particular material used, it will get damaged and you cannot make use of that material again. That will be termed as destructive testing. And in non-destructive testing, you can make the use of the same specimen or same sample of that material. You can use it again and again. That will be termed, or it will not get damaged. Sometimes it is not possible to use it again. Some cleaning operations may be required, but you can use the same sample to conduct the test again also. That will be termed as a non-destructive testing. Its sample or specimen, that material does not get damaged. That will be your non-destructive testing. Okay, and these different destructive testing methods and non-destructive testing methods will be there in your syllabus in this fifth chapter. And the last chapter is introduction to the powder metallurgy. Now it will include the basic concept of the powder metallurgy. Okay, so steps in the powder metallurgy process is how to manufacture a component from the its respective metal or using some non-metal powders also. Okay, in the metal form we are using that particular metal, and by following certain steps we are manufacturing the product in the desired shape and size. That will be termed as the powder metallurgy process. Then what are the steps we are going to use in this powder metallurgy technique? That steps we are going to discuss in this chapter. Then which kind of powders you can manufacture. Different methods are there for manufacturing the powders also, depending on our use. Okay, depending on our use or depending on our need, different shape and sized powders are required. Then how to choose the required shape and size of the powder, and which method is suitable to manufacture the to get the required shape and size of that powder. that we are going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, this mixing, blending, compacting, sintering, these are nothing but the steps only. Okay, this is the name of the steps. These are the names of the steps which we are going to follow to manufacture a product using the metal powders in this powder metallurgy technique. Okay, and then after this we will discuss some advantages and disadvantages or limitations of this powder metallurgy technique along with its brief applications. This will be the part A of this powder metallurgy, and in part B they have provided you here three names. Okay, these are product names: self-lubricating bearing, cemented carbide cutting tools, and friction materials. These three practical examples are there, name of the products are there, and they will ask you how these products will be manufactured with the help of powder metallurgy technique along with the flow chart. Is just the process chart you have to draw along with the powders required and which steps we are going to conduct on the powders to get the desired product. Okay, out of these three names, compulsory one question name they will provide and ask the questions. Okay, as far as a theoretical examination will be concerned, one question will be there from this part A and one question will be from this part B. Okay, in this sixth chapter, from this sixth chapter, compulsory two questions will be there, and on this fifth chapter also minimum 3-4 questions will be there. Two questions on this part A and two questions from this part B. Okay, one procedure they will ask how this particular test is conducted, and one conceptual question on one from destructive testing side and one from the non-destructive testing side. In this way, yes, questions will be based. And as far as your oral examination is concerned, we are going to conduct the practical related to one non-destructive testing method, and destructive testing methods we are going to take this tensile testing, hardness testing is also available in our lab. Hardness testing, tensile testing is also available, then impact testing is also available in our lab. All these practicals we are going to conduct, and oral questions, oral examination questions will be there based on these practicals only. Okay, I will discuss that in the practical syllabus. Okay, this is our theoretical syllabus. Now this is the practical syllabus. And now before discussing the so this is our practical syllabus. So this is the okay, this is the practical syllabus. Okay, this is in semester continuous assessment, or you can say internal continuous assessment of your practical work. Okay, whichever experiments we are going to conduct in the lab. Okay, experiment we are going to take, and after that you have to write up related to that experiment. Okay, as your practicals are one by one, I will take the practicals, and one by one you have to cover the write up, and at the end you have to submit that uh, as your lab book. In the journals you have to write that, and we are having this 10 experiments in our list. They have provided the list. Out of this 10 experiments, 8 experiments we are going to conduct. Okay, 8 experiments are there. The first, this is the first experiment, that is the study of a metallurgical microscope and specimen preparation for the microstructure observation. This is the first practical. Now, in this, while studying this first practical, that is study of the metallurgical microscope and specimen preparation, this first practical will be divided in two parts. Okay, it will be divided in two parts. The first part is the microscope or the metallurgical microscope. First, we will discuss what is this metallurgical microscope, what are the constructional details of that metallurgical microscope, then how the what is the concept of optical microscopy, okay, that we are going to discuss here. I think already these types of microscope you have used, I think in the 12th class or in the 10th class. Suppose you have observed any microstructure in biology 10th or 12th science, you may have studied. Okay, or I will repeat all the parts I will repeat. That is the constructional details, and how which working principle will be used in this metallurgical microscope. Generally, optical microscopy is used, and in our lab also we are having the same microscope. We have with simple microscope is also there, metallurgical microscope, and one advanced microscope. Recently, we have purchased that, and that also inverted metallurgical microscope is also available. All these experiments, this first experiment will perform with the help of that inverted metallurgical microscope only. Okay, why it is termed as inverted only, that I will discuss in the practical hours only. And after that, to observe any microstructure, you have to prepare the particular specimen. To study that specimen with the help of microscope, we have to do the specimen preparation, and certain steps are there that you have to follow in this specimen preparation, and that particular specimen will be used for microstructural observations. So which are that steps that we are going to study in this first chapter only, sorry, first practical only. And after this first practical, the second practical we are going to take is a demonstration of the macro examination, such as the spark tests. Spark test, conducting the spark test, we are going to use this experiment will be conducted in the workshop. Okay, in the workshop we will conduct this experiment of the spark test. Okay, simply, what is the aim of this using this spark test? To suppose three different materials are provided. One is the steel, one is the cast iron, and one is the non-ferrous. Or one is the ferrous alloy and another is the non-ferrous alloy. Then how to identify which material is a ferrous material and which material is the non-ferrous? And out of that ferrous material, whether it comes under the category of the steel or whether it comes under the category of the cast iron, uh, how to identify it, that we are going to discuss in this spark test. And to perform this experiment, simple grinding machine will be required. It is simple grinding machine, and different material samples we are going to take, and just we are going to perform simple grinding operation. And by performing that grinding operation and making some observations, we will be able to distinguish between, which is, suppose four samples are provided, which one is the ferrous material, which one is the non-ferrous material, and suppose two or three or different types of steels or cast irons are there, and that way you will be able to distinguish. Okay, just distinct or differentiation you can tell. You cannot tell the exact composition in this spark test. Okay, then after that, the practical number 3, 4, and 5, all these are the study experiments. Means you have to study the microstructure of different types of the plain carbon steels. Okay, study of microstructure of different types of plain carbon steels. In this practical, we are going to deal with the there are three different types of plain carbon steels: low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, and high carbon steels. And for each, we are going to take one sample of each type of plain carbon steel, and that microstructure we are going to observe with the help of this metallurgical microscope. And we are going to study which phases are there, and what will be there, depending on that phases, what will be their properties and applications. Okay, that we are going to discuss in this third practical. And in the fourth practical, the same way, just here materials will be different. Here we are going to take different types of the cast irons, and in that we are going to take four samples consisting of white cast iron, gray cast iron, then USG means spheroidal graphite cast iron and malleable cast iron. 4 different samples will be there, and we are going to observe their microstructure with the help of microscope only. Okay, metallurgical microscope we are going to use for this practical also, and we will try to understand which phases are there, how many phases are there, which phases are there, how many phases are there, and what will be the impact of that particular phase on that properties of that particular material. Okay, here we are going to deal that in by considering the different cast irons. And in the fifth practical, or in the fifth experiment, we are going to study the microstructures of different types of non-ferrous alloys. In that, the brasses, bronzes, then the aluminum silicon alloys will be there. 3 samples we are going to take, and we are going to observe their microstructures. These experiment number 3, 4, 5. These are study experiments. Already prepared samples will be there, and just we are going to observe that under the microscope, and we will try to identify the phases. Okay, that we are going to deal in this 3 experiments. Then in the 6th experiment, okay, now okay, these first 5 experiments, these will be based from your section 1 only. Okay, means that spark test, then specimen preparation, and this microstructure of plain carbon steel, microstructure of different cast irons, and microstructures of different non-ferrous alloys. These experiments will be based on from your first section, and now from here onwards, this will be part of your second section. There is a demonstration of annealing, normalizing, hardening, and tempering. This experiment will be based on your heat treatment of steel chapter, that is chapter number 4. And here in our lab, we are having muffle furnace with us, and with the help of that muffle furnace, we are going to conduct the, or we are going to carry out this experiment. 4 different samples we are going to take, and on that 4 samples, we are going to perform these heat treatment processes, and we are going to observe that observation of microstructure is not the part of syllabus, but I will explain that what will be the microstructural changes. Okay, here we are going to conduct this heat treatment process with the help of muffle furnace only. And then the 7th practical will be demonstration of tensile impact and hardness test. Okay, these tests we are going to conduct. Tensile impact and hardness test we are going to conduct here only. Then the demonstration of one non-destructive testing method. In our lab, we are having all set up with us for one non-destructive testing method, that is liquid penetrant testing or dye penetrant testing. And that testing method we are going to conduct in our lab. In this way, these first 8 experiments we are going to take in this metallurgy as far as this metallurgy practical is concerned. And possible, I will try to take these remaining 2 experiments also, that is how to do the grain size measurement. As already I have discussed with you that we are having some modern inverted metallurgical microscope. Recently we have purchased it. In that, with the help of one software, we can do this grain size measurement. I will explain it only. There is no need to do the write up and all these things. Just we will perform these 2 extra practicals in our lab only. Okay, grain size measurement, how to do the grain size measurement, and we will try to observe the microstructures of 3 more samples, and which are undergone some heat treatment processes like carburizing, nitriding, or some induction hardening. That samples means heat treated samples will be there, and you have to just observe the microstructure. Okay, so these are 2 extra practicals we will try to cover in these 2 extra practicals in our lab only. Okay, so in this way, in our syllabus, these 10 practicals are there. We'll try to cover the all times. Minimum 8 are mandatory or compulsory. Okay, so on this and this, using this first 8 chapters only, you have to do the write up for your journal or lab book. Okay, I will that how to write it, and that I will tell you while conduction of the practicals only. And now this ICA will carry, or in short, you can say this is the internal term one. It carries 25 marks weightage, and for this metallurgy subject, external oral examination is there, and it carries 25 marks. Okay, only oral questionings will be there, and that questioning will be based on your theory syllabus and practical syllabus also. Okay, nowadays suppose in a theoretical examination also, sometimes they may include, suppose objective questions are there, then they may include the some MCQ questions from your practicals. So it is very necessary to study this theory as well as it should be clubbed with the practicals. Practicals are very important because for any engineering applications, why this subject is very necessary to study, or why the study of metallurgy is very necessary for any manufacturing of any component. Or you should, first initial stage will be selection of the material, and for selecting the proper material, you should be aware of its microstructure, then properties, and depending on that only you can decide its application. And to do that, you must have the knowledge related to this metallurgy subject. Depending on this subject only, you will be able to do the proper selection of the material for the particular applications. Or suppose I will take few practical examples. Suppose uh, your fan is there. Okay, your domestic fan, its blades are made up of steel material. Okay, domestic fan blades, that blades are made up of steel. Which steel it is, that you should aware of, means which it comes under the plain carbon steel, and out of that plain carbon steel, it comes under the low carbon steel. Then what is its composition, approximately what is the percentage of carbon, or whether any alloying elements are there or no alloying elements are there, like that all knowledge you should have to manufacture the actual component. Okay, any component, I have told you one example. Yes, suppose in your vehicles also, suppose you want to manufacture, their wheels are there. Okay, wheels or that spokes are there in the wheel, where you are fixing your vehicle's tire, that spokes or a metal wheel is there. Okay, that wheel is made up of which kind of carbon, sorry, which kind of steel, to okay, that part will be covered in this metallurgy subject only. Or suppose you are using different tools in your workshops. Okay, like you have, I think you may have used hammers. uh, Hammers is the well-known example. Then uh, which material used to manufacture that hammers? We are generally using high carbon steel. Why only high carbon steel is used? Because it requires strength. Okay, like that, depending by better understanding of the microstructure and phases, you will be able to understand properties of that particular material, and depending on that only you will be able to decide its applications. Okay, so this is the little introduction to the syllabus, theoretical syllabus and practical syllabus also. So after this I will start the first chapter. Just I will take few basic concepts. Today only I will cover it. If you have any query related to this introduction of this syllabus, then its practical contents, you can put that in the chat box. Okay, this part is the remaining. I will explain it. And after explaining this, we'll start our first chapter. Okay. So which books you have to use? Some textbooks are there, and some reference books are there. All these books are available in our library. Also some important books, and all the textbooks are available in our college library. Okay, and the reference books are also available. Just I will explain this, means which textbooks you should be that should be preferred. The It is Material Science and Metallurgy by Dr. V.D. Kodgiri. Okay, this is simply a textbook. Okay, and this is the best one. Like another other textbooks available in our library, or these are referred from the universities. That is Engineering Metallurgy by S. Golap and M.S. Kulkarni, and the Introduction to Engineering Materials by B.K. Agarwal. All these books are available in our college library. And the best one textbook, as far as textbook is concerned, Material Science and Metallurgy by Dr. V.D. Kodigere. This will be very helpful for your theoretical examination. Okay, theoretical examination. This will be very helpful. But as far as, you should try to go through the reference book. Okay, you can do the preparation with the help of textbooks for only for the sake of the theoretical examination. But suppose you want to prepare by taking in your by keeping in your mind some competitive examinations like GATE or IS examinations are there, or different other competitive examinations are there. For that, you should try to study all subjects involved in your syllabus with the help of reference books, so that small concepts you will understand in the better way. Okay, textbook, you can use that textbook. Also some reference books are also there, means all parts will be covered. Then in the in from this text reference books, these five reference books are there: Heat Treatment Principles and Techniques by Rajan Sharma, then Introduction to Physical Metallurgy by Avner, and then Engineering Metallurgy by this R.A. Higgins, then Engineering Metallurgy by E.C. Rolandson, and then the Engineering Metallurgy by Lactine. Okay, some publications in bracket. These are the publications mentioned. Okay, this TMH is Tata McGraw Hills. Then out of this reference books, Introduction to Physical Metallurgy by Dr. Avner, and this one is the best one. Okay, you can use that. This Introduction to Physical Metallurgy by Dr. Avner. You can use this. This is the very good reference book. All parts, all syllabus you can find in this one book. And some extra knowledge you will get, and that some questions may be asked in the GATE examination, and that will also get covered in this Physical Metallurgy. Introduction to Physical Metallurgy by Avner. Okay. So these are the some textbooks and reference books uh, along with these lists. Okay, these you can use for better understanding of this metallurgy subject. Okay, so if you are having any query related to this, please ask me, or you can put that in the chat box. I will wait for a few minutes here for your queries or any suggestions there. You can put that also in the chat box. Or if no problem is there, all points are clear, you can mention that also, so that I will continue the session and I will start the first chapter. Okay, if you are not having any query, so in this way, in this today's session, okay, we have discussed this part. I'll just summarize today's session. Okay, just this today's session, we have discussed the what is the meaning of the metallurgy subject, then what are the prerequisites for better understanding of this metallurgy subject, then how the teaching scheme is for this particular metallurgy, then examination scheme is there. Then after this, what will be the course objective, what are the course objectives and course outcomes for this metallurgy subject, an actual theoretical theory syllabus, 6 chapters syllabus, one by one we have discussed, and practical syllabus we have discussed this also, and which textbooks are helpful for better understanding of this metallurgy subject, and which are the reference books that will help you for better understanding of this subject, that we have discussed. Now I will now please I will now take the attendance. Okay, according to roll number, I will call the roll number, or you can directly put your roll numbers in the chat box. I'll wait for few minutes only. Okay, for the sake of your attendance, please put your roll number in the chat box. I will collect it. This will be attendance for your 2 hours lecture, today's 2 hours lecture. If you have any query, please ask me related to the how we are going to conduct the practicals. What is the use of this subject in our practical life? Related to that, questions may be asked, or you can ask that questions. Okay, this link will be open for only this recording will be active for only 2 or 3 minutes more. Before that, you have to put your attendance. I'm checking here one by one, and randomly I will verify. Okay, roll number 69. Just I will randomly ask any roll number. I will call any roll number. Just provide me reply. Yes, sir, like that. You can reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay, roll number 55. Okay, 55.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 7. Roll number 7.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 33.
Yes, sir.
33. Roll number 33. Okay, anyone is having question, please ask me. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, only 33 or 34 students are there in this meeting, I think. Only 31 students are there. Okay. Now some instructions are there for you. Okay. Now I think very attendance is very less for today's session, but some instructions I will give you. First instruction will be, your attendance is very important. If you miss any lecture, you will not able to understand the concepts. Okay. And then attendance is mandatory for all sessions, and if you want, if you are having any essential work or any medical emergency, then you have to inform me, or you have to directly inform to HOD sir also. Okay. Then you have to follow all the instructions which I am providing on the emails or via the WhatsApp group we have created. All the instructions you have to follow and reply me on the time. Okay. And if you are having any queries related to any subject, you can contact me, or simply you can send me a text message, or through WhatsApp group you can contact me. Okay. I'm your class coordinator also. And complete the next important is complete your admission related processes. And if you are having any query related to that, please you can contact me. Okay. Now I will stop this session here only. These some instructions I have given. Follow the instructions, attend all these lectures. And if you have any queries, you can contact me. Okay. Okay. Thank you for attending this session. I will stop this session here only. From next session, I will start the first chapter. Okay. First chapter, introduction. First chapter we will start. Okay. For this metallurgy subject, first chapter from next session, first chapter will be, I will start introduction to your ferrous alloys. And thank you for attending this session. I will stop here. Thank you.